That's not how life is. That's how you are. Two people can experience the same different events and have wildly different outcomes from it. Come on, let's get into it. Let's just say two different people are stuck in the same traffic. It's rush hour, bumper to bumper traffic, but just two different people. The first car, they realize that it's too much traffic. They're not going to be able to speed it up in any type of way. So they decide, you know what? I'm going to just listen to an audiobook, or I'm going to listen to my favorite music, or I'm going to call somebody, get on the phone and, just have a good time instead of focusing on the things that I can't change, which in this moment is the traffic. Versus the person in car two. They're like, forget all this. I'm going to figure out a way to get ahead of this. So they're dipping in and out of traffic. And every time they dip, the lane that they just got out of tends to go up a little bit more. So then they try to go back over here. And then now this lane is moving. And they're in this constant cycle of just getting further and further back. And now it's like the law of diminishing returns. Trying harder and harder is getting you less and less. Where the person in car one, they just stayed in the same lane and now they're 20 cars ahead, when in reality they started off around the same point. Now, it may not be too difficult to imagine how the different days are going to play out. The first person didn't allow this traffic to just, take them down a level. And this person in car two allowed the traffic to just bring out their worst selves. They're sticking a middle finger at people, they're cursing when nobody can even hear them. They're literally having a tantrum in their car because the traffic isn't moving. They don't have the discernment to realize that this is something that I can't change in a moment. Yes, it sucks that this traffic is going on, but that doesn't mean that you can just change it by force. Stop focusing on the traffic. This is what the person in car one is doing, and they're having a way better time. Or let's just say two people work for the same company and they're doing mass layoffs. Both of them get fired at the same time. Person one, even though they're upset about it, they just realize that things happen for a reason. Things don't happen to me, they happen for me. So instead of just getting all upset and bent out of shape, they say, you know what? I've been meaning to take my family to the beach. I just haven't been able to have the time since I'm always at work. Today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the beach, have a good time, and when I get off, then I'm just going to go fill out some applications. But I'm not going to just allow this to make me just have a horrible day, which could lead to a horrible week, horrible month. That's not what I'm going to do. Versus the second person who gets fired, they're not going for it. They immediately go to the manager. What do you mean I'm fired? Threatening to sue, threatening to harm them, all sorts of things. And then immediately after talking to the different managers and giving them a piece of their mind, now they go on social media to bash this job and just let them know how bad they just got done. Life isn't fair. Things suck for me. The attention that they were putting on this negative situation wasn't enough. Now they got to go spread it to the world so that they can get some other opinions to just weigh in on how negative this situation is and how the job market isn't worth anything right now and people are getting fired left and right. This is just how life is. The first person didn't embody that at all. They're at the beach, hanging out with their family, laughing, maybe having a drink or something. Person two is viciously typing on social media, isn't even thinking about getting a new job. All they're thinking about is, how dare you fire me? You know how much time I put in? And this is just the way you're going to do me? They're thinking about all of the things that they're losing instead of the one thing that they just gained, some time. They're just so caught up in the fact that, wow, I don't have my job. I understand that people have different needs, but in this situation that I'm speaking on, they both have families. The first person, they took their family to the beach. And then let's say that a plane crashes one day and then they talk about it on the news. One person can see this and they'll just send prayers to the people, send blessings their way, like, wow, that sucks. But they also understand that this is a rare event. They're not going to just allow this one moment to dictate how they move forward in life. They're still going to fly places. They still have people that they want to see in other states, and this isn't going to just stop them from going to see those people. You see what I'm saying? Versus the second person, they see this, and now they're like, You see, I knew I shouldn't be flying. This is exactly why I don't fly. Now, any plans that they had to leave the state, leave the country, anything like that, it's kind of put on halt. And the more they allow these feelings to fester, these negative feelings about flying, the further and further away they actually get from going anywhere. They may even start thinking later on in life, like, I need to get an RV or something. Nothing against RVs, but if you have an RV because you can't fly, there's something to that. You've built something that only existed in your mind. This isn't how life is. This is just how you interpreted a situation. And they didn't have to internalize the plane crash as something that could also happen to them. But all they see is the plane crash. They're not able to see how rare of an event that actually is. They're not thinking about all the planes that go up and come down every single day with no issues. Maybe a little turbulence, but they still land. No crashes. They just hyper focus on that one crash that they saw, and now they just make that their reality. I'm not the type of person who flies. I love my life. I'm going to stay safe. Not realizing that it's more likely to get in a car accident than to get in a plane crash. And they're going to continue driving every day. And it's kind of arrogant to just feel like, wow, I'm so special that anything bad that happens once in the world is also going to happen to me. Nah, it's like winning the lottery. Why do you feel like you're going to just win the negative lottery? Like, that doesn't have to be the way that you're going through life. But it can be if you just have this sort of view on things. Always just looking at the glass half empty instead of half full. You see what I'm saying? And having a dysregulated nervous system really can add to the fire of this sort of thinking. If on the inside you're tense and stressed, anytime something externally happens that doesn't go your way, it's just gonna intensify that feeling. Versus if you were starting off at like a neutral baseline, when something negative happens, it won't really pull you too far down. But if you're already starting down and then something negative happens, it's gonna drop you to the floor. If something good happens, it'll only really bring you up to baseline because you're starting so low. And this is why getting your nervous system in control can really help you throughout life, because where attention goes, energy flows. The things we focus on tend to multiply. As long as you continue focusing on the negativity, that's exactly what you're going to see, more and more negativity. That person with the plane crashes, they're going to start hearing about different events where planes crashed in other countries and stuff like this, and it's always just going to be more evidence as to why they should not fly. So one of the ways that you can make sure your nervous system stays at like a neutral baseline is to just regulate yourself. And you can do that with your breath. Intentional breathing, like making that a regular routine, can work wonders in your world. It can literally change how you experience life, because we all see life through a different lens. It's like taking off glasses. If you always see things negatively, that's just the frame of reference that you have from things that you've seen in the past and the reactions that you've had to those things. Because a personality is how we think, act, and feel. So if your personality is just the type of person that responds negatively to things, then life is just going to continue throwing you things to respond negatively to. But if you're the type of person who sees things for what they are, just situations, and you can keep a positive demeanor throughout whatever's happening, life is going to show you more things to keep you in that positive vibe, more things to be grateful for. So incorporating some intentional breathing regularly into your routine really can work wonders for you. Try the 4-4-6. That's in for 4 seconds, pause for 4 seconds, and then let it out for 6. As soon as you wake up in the morning, do that for 3 rounds. Or if you have a bit more time, let's say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, try breathing in for 4 seconds and out for 8 seconds. That extended exhale literally will scream to your nervous system, hey, we're safe right now. All the danger is gone. There's no need for us to be tense. So after you start making the intentional breathing a regular part of your life, you'll start to just have a higher baseline, and the things that happen to you won't have such an effect on you. You'll be able to move forward, kind of like the person who just decided, you know what, this traffic isn't going to bother me. I'm just going to listen to an audiobook, maybe call a friend, maybe listen to my favorite music. Either way, I'm going to be in this traffic. I might as well make the best of it. And then before they know it, they're out of the traffic. versus the other person who just feels like they're in traffic forever. So the next time something happens that you consider to be negative, just understand that there's a version of you that doesn't have to view it that way. You can get through it with a positive demeanor, and you don't just have to let things get you bent out of shape. I'm Brad, and this is LGTM Healing, where we get your mind right so you can go and get your money right. I'll see you next time.